What's going on, everybody? What is today? Today is Wednesday, December 30th, 2015. And, yes, I do have a picture of Conor McGregor on the screen currently right now. He is one of the people I really look up to, and that can be very controversial. You know, it can be a controversial subject with a lot of people because of his confidence, basically. But what I enjoy about Conor McGregor, I know it's really not talking about stocks today, but we are gonna tie that into the conversation of what I'm about to tell y'all. Is his confidence. You know, you can if you can understand the way he thinks and the way he views himself and the way he visualizes certain situations, you can actually take those certain characteristics and apply them to whatever you're doing in your life to be the best of the best at anything that you're doing. And what I want to talk to everybody about, today is the confidence that he portrays and the confidence he has. He predicts his fights to the rounds, and it's just freaking crazy. But the main thing is the confidence he has, and the way he achieves that confidence is basically through 3 steps. And I'm going to try to explain how you can take these 3 steps and apply that into anything that you're doing in life to be the best person you can actually be, and to get you on that path and get you some momentum to I'm taking my own advice as well with so I can do better in my stocks. And I've actually been using these 3 steps in my stocks, and it's actually coming true of what I'm seeing. One of the first things about confidence and Conor McGregor's confidence is relative experience. Relevant experience. Take it for instance as as an MMA fighter. You have to train. You have to train your butt off. You have to do all the the core basics over and over and over again. Repetition. A quote from Bruce Lee was talking about, I'm not afraid of a man with 10,000 kicks. I'm afraid of a man that's practiced one kick 10,000 times. And that's very true. So the first thing is experience. To have that confidence. But sometimes we don't have all of the experience in the world in a certain area, and I'll transfer this to stocks. As far as the experience, my mentor Timothy Sykes, he gives us the basics, and he gives us basically the rules and regulations of the small cap market. So the experience would be studying video lessons, getting to know the basics, like I've been doing. But the second thing is, which is, how can we be confident without having years and years of experience in our certain craft? And basically, the answer to that question is we have to focus on things that we have control over. As far as in MMA, which I've been in MMA too, and I know what it means to actually focus on things that you have control over. But sometimes, like when I was in fights, I would focus on, am I going to lose, or what's my opponent going to do, or how is he going to come out and move, or what combinations is he going to throw. And like in stocks, sometimes I catch myself focusing on things like, okay, is this company, excuse me guys, this is this is an alert in the chat room I'm currently in with Timothy Sykes. But I catch myself focusing on, like, okay, is this company gonna have good earnings, or is this press release actually gonna be a good press release? But the main thing is actually focusing on the things that we have control over. You know what I'm saying? And the things we have control over, as far as like in MMA, is the practice and the repetitions. What we do every day, whatever it is, whether it's MMA, stock trading, being a nurse, or being a welder, or being anything in life. We have to focus on the things that we have control over. And the things that we have control over is how we practice our craft, how we learn, the work the work ethic that we have. We have control over our time, and how we use our time, basically we have control over. So if we have goals and dreams and aspirations that we're wanting to achieve, we can actually focus on what we can do to get there. And what we can do to get there is, first of all, find somebody that's very successful in that area, no matter what it is, and model them. Put in the time, put in the effort. So the first thing we talked about was relevant experience. That's basically getting to know the basics. And the second thing is focusing on the things that we have control over, as far as, putting in the time and the effort into practicing our craft. And we can't, because our minds are like computers, wherever focus goes, energy flows. So we have to learn to focus on the things that we can do to better ourselves in our certain craft. The third thing is visualization, and I'm not talking about just like positive thinking, or just going like to the garden and saying there's no weeds, there's no weeds, there's no weeds. It's basically saying, okay, we've got weeds here, so what are we going to do about it? You know what I'm saying? And that gets to the visualization part of the whole process, as far as in MMA. Okay? Conor McGregor was talking about in Chad Mendez that he visualized the whole fight. He didn't just come in there and say, yeah, I visualize that I'm going to beat you. It was a detailed thing in his head that played over and over and over and over what was going to happen. He said he was going to get taken down, which of course he did. He said, I was going to butcher you from the bottom, and he did. He said, as soon as we get up on the feet, I'm going to keep pressing you while the wind is leaving your body, and I'm going to be cracking you with shots and everything he has. And he did. But see, it's not just a simple, okay, well, I'm going to do this, and that's just it. And the way you can relate the visualization into your area of your trade is actually thinking about every possible situation that can happen, and visualizing the best thing that you would do in those certain situations. It's an obsession. That's all it is. It's an obsession. It's you thinking about every possible outcome that can happen, and you basically finding an answer and visualizing that all the time. And far as like on the stocks, with me, I visualize how, of course, I'm going to be a millionaire, but I don't just think about how I'm going to be a millionaire in the stock market. I visualize the whole process. You know what I'm saying? I visualize me doing this right now. Making video lessons and kind of, explaining to people the basics and how they can, beat 90-something% of all the mutual funds in the United States, because of misinformation the finance industry gives us. I visualize that. I visualize me, looking at the video lessons and watching the video lessons every single day. I visualize me getting certain DVDs and understanding the whole process in level 2. I visualize me actually, when I do lose some money on a trade, I visualize how am I going to react to that emotionally. What's the best emotional response that I'm going to come up with in my head when that happens, because it's going to happen. it's visualizing the whole process. And like if it's years in working, like say if whatever it is, you have to visualize how are you going to react in certain situations when they pop up in your in your in your life. And it's just basically the three. I'll go through it again. Is relevant experience. Number two, focus on the things that you have control over. And three, visualize in your head, and visualize the whole process. And I believe that can help a lot of us. Now, far as on this stock, I just want to show y'all this stock today. This is EARS, and this popped up on my radar a couple days ago, and as you can see, it went from basically $3.75 all the way up to $5, and then it still kind of today is the first red day, but it popped up on my radar because it was a high percent gainer, and this resistance level right here at 417 is high resistance level. Okay, it's came up here once, twice, and 3 times, so it's a heavy resistance. Okay, and you can tell all the way over here, it's a support level, because it came down, came down 1, 2, 3, 4 times. This is a very strong level at 417, 420s. But see, it broke past, this resistance at 417. Now I'll go back over here on the let's see, 30-minute chart, and let's see, 14 days. Okay, well, it broke past that level, and I've been having a lot of success lately buying on dips. Basically, I let the stock see right here is another resistance level at 383. So it was a big percent gainer on my radar, so it shot up. So I watched it. I watched how far it could go, and it went to $5, and it came back down. Well, see, this is resistance. Resistance levels can turn into support levels. So when it came down and touched real close to this, and it started moving back up, that confirms in my head that it is a support level. And so you would buy on the dip around 406, in the low fours or whatever. Well, as soon as it does, we already know it can go all the way up to 5, and sure enough, it goes from 4, low fours, all the way up back to 5 again. You can actually sell right here. So I don't really have much time left in the video, but basically you see how far it can go. It's like a bouncing ball, and then it comes back down here and bounces a little bit, shows the ground, which is support. Basically, you buy here 407. If you invested $500, let's see, $500 divided by 4, basically you would have 125 shares, and you would sell up here, close. We'll just do 5, so you'll make $1 a share. You make $125. Okay, minus commissions. Commissions going in and out of a trade is going to be $20. So you pretty much made $100 on your money from investing $500. Now let's just say if you made $1,000. If you invested $1,000, 1,000 divided by 4 is basically 250. 250 shares, you would make pretty much close to $230, $230. But anyway, guys, I just thought I was gonna let y'all in on this trade specifically. This happens over and over again. It's a pattern straight out of Timothy Sykes' How to Make Millions DVD. If you're really interested in learning these stock patterns, and just interested in me talking about what I'm learning, and you're very interested in it, you can go to natethestockguy.com, which you're probably already on this page watching this video. Well, there is a icon at the top of every page, and it says Profitly. Just click on that Profitly icon, and it'll take you over to Timothy Sykes' personal page. He explains how he turned 12,000 into roughly 4-point-something million in, I think, like 3 or 4 years or so. And we can go ahead and get you started, and go ahead and get in and start learning. And I guess we'll see y'all in the next video. And if this video proved value to you, just go ahead and like and share. We'll see you next time. All right, bye.